So we have yet another situation in which people are trying to take quote unquote the high road and just say pretty much just man need to just shut up and just obey basically. So this guy says I think this is threads. Why isn't child support on a card that can only be used for children's clothing, child's food, etc. to avoid misuse? Now that's been a question asked for at least a decade now. And I say that just because simply that's how long it's been on social media. I'm pretty sure going back to the 90s, they were asking for the same thing, but we're going to say at least 10 years. And then somebody responds with, serious question. How does a woman put rent or a mortgage on a credit card? Why should child support only be limited to clothing and food? Is this a resentful deadbeat father in the making? So here's my problem. Somebody made a very good asked a very good question or made a good comparison in the comment section, which is essentially saying, well, we do that with a lot of other programs that are designed to help people, and particularly children. EBT, WIC, and so it's been a long time since I've been associated with any of it. It is there to make sure that you spend the money on the right things. Why would a child support card be any different? How is it only seen resentful when non-government entities do this? When WIC, like I was very confused coming up when WIC was different from food stamps because it's like, well, what? Why is my mom swiping a bridge card, but then also writing a Wix check, whatever the fuck? Like that doesn't make sense. But then I was explained to somebody, or maybe I just heard in passing that WIC is specifically for baby shit. Period. That's it. That's all it's for. So why would it be a problem to do the same with child support? It's kind of retarded. Um, Another point I like to make ahead of time is that people when they're trying so hard is to say that men just need to just stop it and fall in line and do all the right things, therefore they wouldn't have these problems and all that stuff. It's like, well, if that's the case, then why do we need family court at all? Because surely both sides can just be expected to make the right decisions when choosing a partner and having children, and we just don't need an entity called family court to manage the funds. uh all hold on. Also, I mean, my point is very, very, very clear, is that I'm one of those people that feel that if we're going to have something like child support, why would we be taking anything other than like specifically the child, like, at all? I mean, if you say, oh, mortgage, why the fuck would you take on a mortgage with the expectation of child support to help cover that? If that's the case, then we should definitely start including that one of the things the family court judge can do is say, okay, well, you two just get back together then, so y'all can definitely cover that rent payment according to y'all income. Y'all need to be together, right? Because there's no way that both parents, and this is very common. I know everybody likes to think that ballers are just having all these fucking kids. No, that's why I laugh at the idea when people say, oh, because kids are expensive, that's why they don't have them. People don't have kids based on whether they have the money or not. That's bullshit. I've been over that before. But if very like I said, it's very common if two people who make $15 an hour or less have children and they end up in family court, why is it never an option to say, well, based on the income you two have and the benefits from your job, yeah, y'all stuck together? Because there's no way we can make sense of taking money out of this house and putting it into this one and claim that's for the best interest of the kid when we know one of these parents is going to have to be homeless to make these numbers work. So we should definitely add the option of, yeah, you can just go and tell them to move back in together. That's cool. You can go on and say, listen, this is a court ordered marriage because you are regular ass people. And giving you $200 a month out of this person's pocket makes absolutely no sense. That $800, yeah, they're going to need that for the very basic shit that you say: rent, gas for the car, food. Y'all need to share all of that with y'all income. So go ahead and pack it back up and move back into each other. Good luck out there. So I demand, if we're going to have this conversation with the logic that a lot of people put forward, fine, but do understand that I demand that we actually include a resolution like that, because there's no fucking way you can tell me that that's never the better a solution for the situation. All right. The one guy does a typical buying bundles, blah blah blah. Moving right past that one. If my kids need shoes today, but the child support doesn't hit till next week, I buy the shoes outright. But then when the child support can, I want my half back, meaning he wants to split the cost for the shoes. And I'm not saying understanding why men are called any type of names when they do this. People, remember, if you want a guy who can just foot the bill, then that means we can use that same dumbass logic. Oh, well, you should have just had a baby with a rich guy. Which, how possible is that for every woman to just have a baby with a rich guy? I mean, with polygyny, even still, it's quite difficult, but I think that proves the point there. Using the type of logic that I just said is kind of fucking retarded. But then this guy responds with, why is that even a question? That's just weird, taking money back. Why is it weird? It's not weird splitting up before the baby even gets there, which is what a lot of people do. It's not weird to see that our only real solution is to be separate, but then go through this entity that is neither one of our family members and have them call the shots. That's not weird. That's definitely weird to me. But we want to be able to move so damn freely and have no real rules that we'll make up these rules that sound like they might make sense, but they're fucking stupid because they don't actually address any problem. It doesn't address whether these people should be having the kid at all. It doesn't address whether this money exchange is going to actually fix a problem at all. Because one thing that people never really want to bring up, or when it is brought up, is literally just thrown back at the father, which is, what if she, like, there was a example that I've seen quite a bit. I don't see it anymore, but I saw it a lot a handful of years ago. If the father pays, like, I don't know, I think they just try to make the numbers work a little bit, but they just say, like, if he pays $700 a month in child support, and like the mother wants to throw a birthday party, and she wants someone to chip in an extra $700, should he do that? Now, obviously, that's a case by case basis. Y'all do whatever y'all like to do, but then it's trying to ask the question: should he? Like, is that an obligation that the father should be held to? And it's like, well, no. What if does he also get a say in this child upbringing? Meaning, in this particular case, can he say, listen, this is what I'm going to do for my son or daughter's birthday. This is this is how it's going to happen on my end. If you want to throw an elaborate party with a bunch of people I don't know or like, that's fine, but I'm not doing it. Does he have a right to do that? To say no is, I think that will further prove the fact that a lot of guys are saying, that's not my kid, that's the state's kid. I'm just obligated to pay a fucking bill. In which now you start to see why so many dudes, even when they don't have kids like myself, go, if I'm ever in this situation, I think I would just pay it and go on with my fucking life and avoid the headache. Don't call me, don't talk, none of that, because this is, you're clearly not moving in a direction or in a way that says this is my kid. When people say the men are the leaders, and it's like, bullshit, the state's the leader, and it's been the leader for shit, how long? Shit, about 100 years now? You can't tell me that I am the leader of the community. I am the father of my children, and this. But then yet again, you can simply go to an entity that's not me, that's not my family, that's not your family, and we just have to obey whatever the fuck they say or go to jail. That's not being a leader, and that's not me being a father to my kid. Don't tell me that. As a parent, you are allowed to. Oh shit! I probably. Excuse me. Looking back out, that was a little bit too harsh. My bad. Look, that was a little too harsh. But this entity called the family court gets to take that away from me. There are also times where I'll be right, and that would be actually the best for my kid to be told, no, get over your fucking self, and not to have a little bit of resiliency and able to move through life a lot better than kids who are babied. But you're going to take that away from me and claim that I need to step up and be a father. And it's like, just send me the bill and I'll send you the money and we'll get the fuck over it. And if I don't have the money, I go to jail. But yet, if you don't have the money, you get welfare, and somehow that is seen as productive in society. All right, sure. Okay, all right. Well, yeah, we'll just keep moving because that logic makes perfect sense. It makes absolute perfect sense. Sarcasm. The idea of an EBT for child support is to prevent misappropriation of funds. Since there will be control over, okay, I'm moving past that one. Thanks for the definition. How about this is the one that really pissed me off, which is why I gave that pre-answer. How about choosing the mother of your child responsibly so you never have to question her ability to prioritize your children's needs? Should we be questioning her ability to prioritize who she picks as the father? You see that in this conversation, pick better. See, this is how you address a pick better argument to properly direct what that means. Okay, because if we're going to talk pick better, then we need to be open to completely getting rid of family court, because you should all just pick better, all of you, right? You smart ass. This doesn't fit here. This pick better does not fit in this argument. And then they double down on it. The author says that part, reproducing with men like this is dangerous. Guys like this are looking for a reason to justify being a deadbeat dad. Okay, but this author in a different answer also said that being a dad is more than cutting the check. Okay, you're still family court in no way, as you complain, prevents any parent, either one, from being a deadbeat. It can't stop you from being a body that's just there. It can't stop you from abusing your parents from being babysitters. It cannot do that. But y'all don't want to put the onus on the parents and the grandparents to figure all this shit out and actually make it work within the family. You just want this cheat code called the family court and think that does something. It doesn't do anything. Because after the numbers are figured out on paper, the human beings still have to be human beings and figure that shit out in real life. So I'm not exactly sure why people keep holding on to this standard. It's fucking weird. All right, and here's another one that really gets on my nerves. Niggas be paying $350 a month thinking that their baby mama going to Dubai. Oh, the place Dubai, the place. And let's see what the response was. I just said something similar. Before someone gets to post a complaint, they need to do a list amount they are paying per child a month. Some of these dudes be paying $100 talking about where the money going. Again, that goes back to my point, which is if two people are fucking broke, it makes no sense to snatch money from one to give to the other. Only to give the other welfare anyway. It's fucking stupid. It's retarded. And again, and here's another thing that really pissed me off, that people act as if it's not in reality. If he's paying $350 a month, what are the chances she doesn't have a collection of welfare on her side? Like, just collection of that shit. We've seen it very clear. We've seen it. The studies say that people on welfare can live the lifestyle of somebody who's making $70,000. That is quite significant when you're getting free money. Now add $300 of child support every month, or $350. You're adding an additional $2,500 to $6,000 annually in tax-free money that someone who's already living a $70,000 lifestyle gets. And then you're wondering why the person who's making like 30, 40 grand pre-tax and then is also taking $350 a month is going, hold up, where the fuck is the money going? Well, yeah, because they got to go work for it, dumbass. They got to go out and actually get the money. They got to go get yelled at by bosses. They got to get up in the wee hours of the morning to go get the motherfucker. They got to go get it. So for you to say, "Oh, you really think that's doing?" I don't give a fuck. You snatch it from me. I want to know. Like, get the fuck out of here with the whole only one side has to do something. Stop it. If it's worth taking, if it's worth going and to tell the judge to take it from me, it's worth me saying, okay, now show me where you're going. Show me receipts. It's worth it. Absolutely. This is a touchy subject for a lot of people / men. When mine was little, I fought for my rights and petitioned for 50-50 custody. This was 20 years ago, and the courts acted as if I had never heard of, considered such a thing. Honestly, they honestly don't, they, I think they did. It was so unusual that I was still required to pay child support. It wasn't, it wasn't a lot, but still seemed unfair. 50-50, well, okay, dude, I'm not doing all that. If I am required to fight for my child, I repeat, that's not my fucking kid. If the mother is allowed to, quite literally, take my kid to another location, shut the door, lock it, call the government. Yeah, I kind of want to just keep my kid separate from the father because he's a piece of shit, and then I'm the one who has to go and say, no, I'm not. Look, huh? What the fuck? That's her kid. That's her kid, not mine. And no fucking way is that my kid. And let me be very clear. I grew up watching a lot of this bullshit from adults as a child. And I said adults because I want to make it very clear. I'm not just trying to, I don't want y'all to think that I'm just like a guy that just like women are ass and they suck and they're pieces of shit and blah. No. I seen both sides just be absolute fucking trash. Okay? I've had uncles fun fact, this one uncle I had, he's still alive. I don't think he's ever had a real legit job ever. I don't think he's ever had a real fucking legit job ever. He does not hide that. He makes it very clear. It's either he his own boss or he's just out here. Period. That's it. This dude has at least 2 baby mamas. At least 2 baby mamas and at least 4 kids. And then when they go through the bullshit with him, it's just like, who the fuck did you think you were having kids by? Who did you think you were having kids by? You thought this dude was going to be like oh, I'm there for my kids. Here's $1,000 a week. You take that, you make it work. As a matter of fact, I also have a house on the hillside. Go in and no. He does enough to stay out of jail sometimes. Like, that's who and what he is. Never hit it. Then on the flip side, the same guy is really like, man, they put me through hell, man. They got me doing this. They're trying to get me locked up. And it's like, my guy. Who the fuck did you think you were having kids by? Seriously? She was a baby mama when she met you. Do you know what kind of baby daddy she had? Yes, you did. You spoke about it. You knew that he was not there. You knew that all the shit that your baby mama could play as you don't do, she had to take a play by him. Like, I literally watched this type of scenario, and I'm just like, you niggas are stupid. There's no fucking way all of you could be this dumb and make it having the same. It's like the circular argument of like dumb ass, stupid fucks that just keep having kids. It's just like, wow. That's as much as I can say about it. So when I hear these arguments on the internet, it's like, cut the shit. It is not man bad, woman good. Father bad, mother good. It is not even close. All these people are stupid. All of them. Listen, gone are the days, and I did this like something like right after COVID, where I made a decision. There's no way I'm going to continue to tell women to pick better when they fight against that, and then I also like see all of the shit that plays out and remember, like I said, the shit that I seen growing up. Nah, ain't another one of them shit. All right, you're no longer. We was giving y'all benefit of the doubt when we tell y'all pick better. We're assuming you are a decent person, and much better than the father. But I'm like, why? Why are we making that assumption that this person who bent over for this person is better than the person that bent over for? That doesn't make sense. Ain't none of them shit. They both dumb. And again, in most cases, they're both broke. So why are we taking money from one broke person, giving to the other broke person, and then wondering why this broke person is like, hey, that broke person ain't taking care of the money? Well, as a broke person, I'm pretty sure they know. As a broke person who was fucking that broke person, they kind of have a clue that that broke person is fucking stupid. Like, I think they're right. But anyway, let's continue here. She says, I remember my son's dad complaining years ago because I was going on holiday and he couldn't afford one. He said I was using his money to pay for it. I just went and got my son's $600 a month nursery bill. I asked him how his $200 per month was paying for anything when it didn't even cover 50% of his child's care. He never brought it up again. Which sounds like a decent way to say, hey, look, I'm not abusing you. But it's kind of fucked up that you laughed. It's obvious that you're laughing at him right now with the emojis and shit. Which is another thing that I don't know. You people who wonder why younger guys are voting right and more conservative, it's because this happens on particularly the left a lot. Not saying that men on the right don't also have some of these teachings, but this is very, 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 very practical on the left for you to be able to laugh or even mock your baby daddy for being broken down and out and blah blah blah. Meanwhile, we see so many different types of scenarios, threads, videos, whatever the fuck say, if you as a man can have custody of your children, eating good, and you know your baby mama is over there fucked up, you're a terrible person. If you can enjoy a vacation and your baby mama your kids got a home to your raggedy ass baby mama house and she can't afford no vacation and all that, you're fucked up. But it can happen the other way around. Tell me how that's in the best interest of the kid to see the dad as a down and out ain't shit person who's broke the motherfucker, but the mama is well off. One is good for the kid, but the other isn't. And you wonder why so many of these dudes is like, fuck this. No way in hell am I going to be a part of something that tells me that only I can be wrong and the other half of my family can be in the right. Shit hit the fan. Hell, even when you're married, doofus dad, educated. Like, it gets to you're going to have a breaking point there. Because your child support is reimbursing her for the money she already spent. Y'all really gotta stop. Y'all really gotta stop. Y'all gotta stop pretending that every situation that there's child support, the mother always spends all of her money, and then the child support comes in last minute in the clutch. That is quite literally somebody who just cannot properly set a budget. Somebody who can never catch up, even though it works out every month with the money they have. It can never be like on time and not needing that last minute reimbursement check. Never. That is somebody who can't properly set a budget up. Lower credit card support payment. Child support payment by offering her a credit card in your name with a higher limit to what she'd receive in child support instead of paying child support since the government takes a cut. After some months, you will see exactly how much she's using on the child versus herself. Then show the court. Okay. You really are trying to get baby daddies or ex-husbands to get their baby moms or ex-wives to buy into using your credit card as opposed to getting child support. And I'm assuming you think they agree to this because the credit limit would be higher. That that's not going to work. Some, yes, sir, some baby moms would fall for it, but they're only going to fall for that if that's already your character in the first place. Okay, if you are already a stingy fuck and you come to her like, hey, here, I got this credit card instead of child support, chances are she's going to go, why do you want to give me a credit card? Why? What is the point? I can keep this forever and you're never going to cut it off. Like, what is, like, they're going, she's going to see that. And worse, in some cases, she's going to see that and go, oh, okay. And she's going to run the fuck out of that credit card knowing damn well you got something set up and you're trying to fuck her in the back end. Like, it's, no, do not follow this. This is stupid. Don't do this. Wow. You can't be that dumb to really believe that this would work out for you. It won't, trust me. Because children need more than those things. Sometimes you can't wait. Okay, those are the last of the comments. I'm gonna give this example that I give every fucking time in this subject matter. Okay, when a man, and you have whether you want to point to like the conservative YouTubers or whatnot, or just dudes on who got their own podcast and have family conservative type style talking points. Those guys get ridiculed and chastised quite a bit for men and women alike. When they say, I want a strictly ran household, budget, what are we going to do with the kids, how we're going to parent, blah, blah, blah. I want that stuff strict, and then we can figure out anything else, all the fun and vacation. We can figure it out later. But I want to be strict first. Again, those people are criticized. Those men are ridiculed. However, when you get somebody like Country Wayne, who say, "Oh, I just send a bread, bro. I don't even ask no questions. I don't give a fuck who in the house. I just send a bread, bro." Now, Country Wayne has, I believe they said 9 or 10 baby mamas. There's no way, unless they're all practicing polygyny in the same household, there's no way he can find time as a traveling comedian to make that kind of money where he can give away over $2 million in child support every year. There's no way he can be home and see all of those kids as much as as we say he needs to. But yet, when you go to that comment section of that video on the Breakfast Club, I believe it was Conversation actually. Excuse me. And you got, oh, that's a real man. All men need to be like this. So when the guy is saying, I am nothing but a fucking check, applause. When a guy say, I am an involved father and I want to run a household like this, controlling, future deadbeat, clearly just wants people to be patriarchal and be a slave for him. So when you're involved, you want to be involved, controlling, slavery, so forth. But when you just want to be a check, that's okay. Unless you're not rich, then it's not okay to be just a check. That is not math. That is not how that works. It is not the father's input and all that stuff, the father's guidance. It is not that only can the rich afford not to. It's one of those things that either it's important or it's not. Because money doesn't give you guidance. It allows you to buy a bunch of shit that makes you feel happy, but it doesn't give you guidance. So either a father's guidance is important or it's not. If it's not, then I don't want to ever hear y'all complain or criticize a dude for saying, listen, I am the poor version of Country Wayne. Be right, not positive. I'm out.